guys, my name's Sierra, also known as Nirvana, and welcome to my corner of the internet. Today I am filming for you my March TBR, or my March to be read. So these are a number, I think 6 books I have here that I want to get read in the month of March, so I'm sharing it with you guys. The first book I have here I read sometime last fall for one of my courses, and this is Ta-Nehisi Coates' Between the World and Me. This story is written as a letter from Ta-Nehisi to his son, and it's a story about what it's like existing in a black body in the United States, and it's an exploration of his experiences, and I really enjoyed this book. The first time I read it for my class, but my professor asked me to come, and this is the book that they're discussing in the course, so I just wanted to freshen up on it before I go back, because I want to have something interesting to say. The next book I have here is The Leavers by Lisa Kell. This book follows our main character. He's the son of a Chinese immigrant, and they live in a New York City apartment with her mom, with his mother, with her friend's son, and with her boyfriend. And they live in poverty. They don't have a lot of money. They can barely afford to take care of themselves. And one day his mom just disappears, and the mom's friend can no longer afford to take care of him, and so she puts him into the foster care system, and eventually he's adopted by this white couple in Long Island, where he grows up and goes to a predominantly white school, and it's his experience growing up in a predominantly white area as an Asian American, and handling and understanding his experiences with his mother and why she left, because you're not told why. She just disappears one day, and I'm about halfway through, I think. I don't know. I was listening to this book on audiobook, and the audiobook went back to the library, so I have to re-borrow the library book to figure out where I am to finish it. But so far I've been enjoying it. I think it opens up a lot of interesting conversation about first generation immigrants. I think it opens up a lot of conversations about existing in a predominantly white institution, and I thought it was very interesting, so I want to continue reading this one. The next book I have here is another book by Ta-Nehisi Coates, and that is The Water Dancer. So this book follows our main character Hiram, and when he's I believe about 8 years old, he experienced a near death, and he's somehow saved because his mother, who was sold off to another plantation when he was about 8 years old, has some sort of powers. I don't know exactly what they are, but she has some sort of powers, and he opens the door to them, opens them up, however you wish to refer to it as. But it begins in Hiram's life when he is still in the plantation as a slave. Well, in this book they call him Tax, but essentially he's a slave. He is the son of the plantation owner, and he has a perfect memory, and the only thing he cannot remember is anything about his mother. So it follows his story of his life after his experiences, and as he grows up, and as he explores the rest of the world. I am, I think, about 150 pages away from being finished with this book. I've been enjoying it so far, and I need to finish it. The next book I have here, I have the first two, which are right here. And this is Dark Dawn by Kristoff. This is the third book in the Nevernight Chronicles, and I'm not going to spoil the Nevernight Chronicles for you, but it's the first book, Nevernight, which is this book. Follows our main character, follows our protagonist, Mia Covette, and she is a blade of the assassin, and it follows a murderous assassin. I don't think you need much more than that. Honestly, that was enough for me to read it. I mean, and it's a revenge story. Murder, revenge, assassins, and demons. There's a demon that eats her fear. There's nothing more that I feel like I need to tell you. If you're not interested in it by now, you're not going to be. It's amazing. This is the third book in the trilogy. I'm very excited to see what happens here. Also, can we just take a moment to appreciate this cover? Gorgeous. I'm this many pages into it. Also red ends if anyone's interested. This many pages into it. I have probably a few hundred more pages to go, so it will be a while before I get to this one. And the next book I have here is Black Sun by Rebecca Rowanhouse. This is a fantasy novel. This is actually one of the few books this month that I haven't began reading already, but this book is inspired by pre-Columbian Americas, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and it's woven into a tale of celestial prophecies, political intrigue, and forbidden magic. I believe it follows the story as a winter solstice is coming up. They're preparing for some sort of change that's been predicted in the stars. There is someone coming from across the sea named Superior, and he's deemed as harmless, but I'm assuming that he's not because they mention that he's harmless in the book, and that, foreshadowing and such. But I'm interested in reading this. I've heard a lot of good things about it, so I'm interested in seeing what this book has to offer. Also, it has really cool maps inside. I don't know. I don't really find too many books with maps inside. Sounds cool. And last but not least, I have my Book of the Month book. I ripped off my address so no one can stop me. Probably should have pre-cut this. If you don't know how to close a pocket knife, don't open a pocket knife. And the book that I have for this month, I selected to give you a little bookmark. This is Too Good to Be True by Carol Loverin. This follows our main protagonist, and she was diagnosed with OCD when she was 11 years old following her mother's death. Because of it, she's had a difficult time maintaining relationships or getting into relationships with people. So as she gets older, and she meets this man, and he claims to be everything that she's ever wanted. So they get married and they begin their lives together, but it turns out that he has a second family and a second wife that he also provides for, and he has some sort of sinister plan in the process of this. It's a thriller. It has intrigue. That's all I know about it. It sounds pretty good. If anyone is reading this, please let me know. I'm pretty excited for this one, and I would love to do a buddy read. So these are the books that I will be reading this month. If anybody is interested in reading them with me, please let me know. I'm really excited to talk about these books. I'm really excited to get into them. If you guys have read them before, please let me know. I want to talk about them, and if you are interested in reading any of them and are interested in hearing my thoughts about them, also let me know. Maybe I'll do some sort of review of these books. That is all for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and maybe I'll make it a regular thing. Until then, bye. Pages of this anyway. 339 pages. It's not ridiculously long.